Hey everybody, this is just a quick tutorial to show you how to use the Project Life app. It's pretty user-friendly, but I still get quite a few questions on people with questions about how to use the app. So I thought I'd just walk through it really fast and show you how to use some of the features. When you go into the Project Life app, this main screen will pull up. On the bottom left, in the yellow, this is your library. This is where you can see all of the layouts that you have. So the top is in progress. These are the pages that you're working on. Then your completed pages, these are all the pages that you've finished. If you just scroll to the left, you can go through all those, or if you click more options, then you can see the pages this way that will show you. And then if you click back to my library, it will go back to this screen. Then you have completed collages. I'll talk more about collages in a minute, but this is where your completed collages will be. Then you can see my kits. These are all of the kits that you have. The app comes with, I think, 4 built-in kits already. And then you can purchase more. And down below is more kits. These are the kits that you don't have yet that you can buy. If you push on any one of these kits, it will show you all of the cards that are in that kit so that you can see if you want to buy it or not. So you can buy now or maybe later. And it will bring you back to this main page. If you exit out of that, it will take you back to the main screen. On the top left in the orange, that's where your collages are. So if you want to put multiple photos into one spot, then you can make collages in here. If you click on that grid on the top left, that will let you choose different collage pages. So you can make different collage sizes. And I believe these collages just come built in with the kit. I can't remember. But if you click on any of these layout pages, you can change what kind of collage you make. There's 4x6 collage spots, so it's a 4x6 size. Or there's also 6x8. There's 6x8 Project Life albums, so you can make collages that way too. I know people use these for making quotes, or if you want to put multiple photos on, or sometimes people use them for birthday invitations, where you can put a photo on one side and the text on the other side. And then if you just exit out of that, it will take you back to this main screen. On the top right in the blue, these are your layouts. This is where you'll make all of your pages, is in this section. This is where you'll spend the most time. So this main screen pulls up, and this is the layout that you have selected just by default. If you click on the grid in the top left, first of all, it'll bring up this color palette on the top. There's all these different squares with different colors. So you can change the background color of your page by clicking on these squares. If you want to change the selection of colors, if you push on that gray box with the 3 lines on the top left, it will pull up the kits that you have, and under each kit there are dots, and this is how you change that color palette. So if you pick a different kit, your colors up here will change, and you can pick different colors for your background color. I personally just stay with white. I like things clean and simple, and I can't have too many choices or my head will explode, so I just stick with white. But if you like to change the background color, that's how you do it. Also on the top right, you'll see this little box, the little gray rounded corner box. If you click on that, you can change your corners to square corners or rounded corners. I personally prefer square corners, but I know some people really like the rounded, but that's how you change it. It's just by clicking that box. Now down here at the bottom, you'll see all these different layout choices, and that's how you change your layouts. When it pulls up, it automatically pulls up to Design A, and the app does come with some built-in layouts already, and then you can purchase more layout packs. So we'll give you like 10 more layouts or whatever to choose from. If you get overwhelmed easily, do not buy a bunch of layout choices. Just stick with the ones that it gives you, because that's plenty, and you can just play with the ones that it's already built into the app. If you're one that's not tending to get your stuff printed, then I would stick with fewer choices. That's just me. So here's your layout right here, but you can change it down here by just clicking on these different designs. So we'll just stick with this basic one right now. If you click on any one of these squares in the layout, it will pull up like this, and there's a white box with the person in it, or the white box that looks like it has notebook pages. If you click on the person, this is how you add photos, and it will pull up all the albums in your photo album on your camera roll. So you can pick any one of these albums to pick photos out of. Here's just a little tip. It can get confusing to remember which photos you've used in layouts if you have a bunch of photos. So what I do is when I'm working on specific pages, I either favorite the photos. So you'll notice when you click on a photo, there's a heart at the bottom. If you click on that heart, it will put things into favorite photos. or I use Dropbox. That's how I get all my DSLR photos into Project Life app. If you don't know how to use Dropbox, it's super, super easy. And that's how you can pull in photos that are not on your camera roll into the app, is through Dropbox. And I would put the pictures into smaller folders so you can remember what pictures you've used. So I just click on my favorites folder and I'll just pick a photo right here. Then you can push the X or just tap anywhere on the page and it will pull you out of the photo picker. And here's my photo right here. You can click on that photo and hold it down and it will come loose like this, so that if you want to move it somewhere else, you can move it to a different square. If you want to edit the photo, you just tap on it, and in the top left there's this little slider button. If you click on that, you can do the brightness. My guess is most people, if you have dark photos, this brightness thing is super helpful and it will make your photos print better. So if you just add a little brightness to the photo, and then there's this circle that's half light, half dark. If you click on that, you can add some contrast. And that, don't add too much because I think that makes photos look bad. But if you just add a little bit, it will look better in print. The teardrop is saturation. I never mess around with saturation because to me that makes photos look super over edited, and I personally don't prefer that. You can also rotate photos with that little arrow on the right. If you click on that, it will flip your photos around if you want to do that. You can also enlarge your photo. So if you take 2 fingers and push them and then squeeze on the photo, you can make the photo bigger or you can make the photo smaller. And then, well, I'm going to make it bigger, but that's how you do that. Then if you want to insert cards, you can pick on a different spot, and that same thing will pull up the person, the picture, or the notebook pages. Click on the notebook pages, and this will pick up where you get your Project Life cards from. In the top left, it will tell you what kit you're using. So this says Ready, Set, Go. If you click on that, it will pull up all of your different kits, and you can just pick which kit you want. There's 3 different kinds of, that one didn't have it, so let me switch back up. There's 3 different kinds of cards. So there's filler cards, you'll see 4x6 filler cards, there's 4x6 title cards, and there's 4x6 journaling cards. The difference between those, filler cards, you cannot type on them. Title cards, you can type in a select area, and then journaling cards, you can type in a bigger area on the cards because it's meant for journaling. Title cards are more like announcing what it is or what the year is or whatever. Journaling cards are for actually adding a lot of text. So you can pick a card and put it in, and same thing with the photo. If you get it in and you want to move it, you can move it. Now here's a workaround that maybe people don't know. So when I click, say I click on this little vertical box and I want to do, it will only allow me to use filler cards that are formatted for this spot. So say I pick this one, and this one you cannot choose this when you choose like this top right 4x6 spot because this is a 3x4 card. But if I wanted it in that spot, I could pick it up and move it into there, and that's how I can pick it for those spots. So it won't let me pick it if I click on here. You'll notice that that number card is not available right there. But if I choose it from this spot, and then I can move them into these spots. So that's how you can get them into those spots, even though it won't let you choose it initially. That's just sort of a workaround. Now, if I pick a journaling card, so if I go down and pick one of these journaling cards, when you tap on this little pencil comes up and you can write text in here. So on the left, you'll see this color wheel. If you click on that, it will let you choose a bunch of text colors. Those are based on the filler card that you, or the journaling card that you picked, so that the text will match the kit that you're using. I personally keep mine all black just because, again, I can't handle too many choices, but if you like to play around with that kind of stuff, that's how you change the color. If you click on the F, that's how you choose your fonts, and you can choose a bunch of different fonts, or if you click on more, it will allow you to purchase more fonts, and as time goes on, they just keep adding more and more of this stuff so you can have more choices. But you pick on a font, and then you can type on your thing. If you click this little arrow to the left, that's how you go back. If you click on the A, that's your font size, so you can make your font bigger or smaller. and then always just click that arrow to the left to go back. The 2 lines with the dots in the middle, that's your line spacing. So if you have multiple lines, it will space them out however you want. The 2 arrows with the line in the middle, that's your vertical offset. So if you want to move all the font up or down together. And then on the right with the 3 lines, that's your justification. So left aligned, centered, or right aligned. That's how you mess with all of the font. The one thing to remember is when you print these as 12 by 12s, the font looks little on your screen that you're working on, but when you print it as a huge 12 by 12, the typing is much bigger than it appears. That's something you get the hang of as you print more, but it's also just something to be aware of, that it prints really big on a 12 by 12 page, because right here it's just this tiny 1-inch thing on your screen, but as a 12 by 12 the typing looks really big. Oh, and then one thing too is you can manually type in everything, or if you click the microphone at the bottom, it will type in what you're saying. See how it's typing in what I'm saying right now, and then you push done. So if you want to not have to type in the whole thing, you can just use the microphone and get your journaling done super fast. Okay, so once you have, suppose I'm going to hurry and just add some photos in here and make this a completed page. See that one's dark, so I would just brighten it up a little bit. And you can add contrast. You can edit right there in the screen, which makes things super nice. And let's do one more photo. Okay, so now technically I have a completed page. This is just random because I just threw cards in. But on the bottom right, oh, one thing too, really fast. If you click that grid button at the top again, say I didn't like the way that layout looked, I can play around with the layouts and just pick different random ones, and it will manually move the pictures around for me. So you can mess around with the layouts even after you've started. Okay, so then I go, the bottom right, there's this box with the arrow going up. This is how I save my images. So I click on that and it says I can share it. So if I click share, see right there where it says done, it just saved it. I can go straight to Instagram, I can move it to Dropbox, I can message it to someone, whatever. And then also if I push this, this is how I export. So page sizes, I always export as a 12 by 12. Just in case I wanted to print as a 12 by 12, the higher resolution, the better. So I just click 12 by 12, because once you save it as a square, you can print it as any size square. So you can print it as a 10 by 10, an 8 by 8, a 4 by 4, any of those. So I've exported it as a 12 by 12, and then I save them to my camera roll so that they will get put into my photos library on my computer. And that's how they get backed up. Because you could get these all saved on your phone. If you're not loading your phone onto your computer, which you totally should be, if you're not, you could lose all of your pages, and that would not be fun to have to redo them. So you just save them to your camera roll, and it saves it into your library, and then if you use iCloud, it's automatically getting put to your computer. That's how you do that. The next thing is that you can order prints straight from the app. So if you go back to this main screen and you click on order prints, it will pull up this screen and you can see my account. And then the first time you use this, you'll set up your account. Then you can push place an order and it will pull up all of the completed pages that I have saved into the app. And so I click on one of those and it will pull up, I can do an 8 by 8 or a 12 by 12. So it just depends on whatever size albums you're doing. The 8 by 8s are 99 cents and the 12 by 12s are $1.99, which is actually super, super affordable for prints that size. You can't even get a 12 by 12 at Costco for less than $2. And the great thing is that the Project Life app prints through White House Custom Colors, which is a professional printing company, so it's really good quality prints. I've printed a bunch. I print through them for other stuff, but through the app I've gotten lots of pages back and they look really good. So you just pick which size you want. As long as you saved your images as 12 by 12, then they're great to print as a 12 by 12. The only reason that your photos wouldn't look good when you printed is if the photo itself didn't look good. If it wasn't a good quality photo, then it's not going to be a good quality print, if that makes sense. So then you can pick another page, say I want this one, and I do an 8 by 8. You can all different sizes. Then you push next, and it will let you review your order. So you can see it's just a $5 flat rate shipping. So I would just do big batch prints. Then if you click next in the top right, it will go through all the steps of your shipping and your billing, which I'm not going to click because then you would see my address, and that's just weird. So anyway, that's how you do your prints, and it will print straight through the app, and then they will mail them to you. And like I said, the prints are super good quality, and they look good. And then you just have to buy the 12 by 12 or 8 by 8 sheet protectors, and you just slip these prints right into those, and then they can go into your albums. And then you have completed albums, and you can do this all with your thumbs, which is the best part about scrapbooking. I'm not a huge scrapbooker. I don't like the process of picking out pages and all that kind of stuff, but that's why I really like this app, because it makes it so I can just do it super easy and slide the pages in. I make it as simple as possible. I'm not super crazy about which filler cards I use, and most of my pages, as you'll see, are very photo dominated. So for instance, this one, I only put in 2 little cards. Most of it's photos, and then you just can throw in a card here and there to add a little bit of journaling so you remember what the day was about, and maybe one extra card that makes it look a little more finished than just a regular album. It can be as simple as you want it to be. I know some people can get kind of crazy with their layouts, but again, like very photo dominated. It's all personal preference, but this app is so easy to use that it makes it so simple for you to get all your pages printed so that your family can actually see them and they don't just sit on your computer. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'm pretty good about responding, or you can also email me. I'm more than happy to help in any way that I can. Have an awesome day.